My name's Gwenda Stanley. I'm from Moree, northwest New South Wales. I'm a Gomeroi woman.
Yeah,
Probably about nearly 20 something years ago, I first visited this place.
yeah,
And then we all came down for the 40th anniversary in 2012.
yeah,
From that became a mandate to go back talking about sovereignty and land rights and the issues that are affecting our community. I was based in Brisbane at the time. We set up the Brisbane Aboriginal Sovereign Embassy with the Brisbane Blacks community and the Brisbane Murray Action Group.
yeah,
And then working with groups like Warriors of Aboriginal Resistance, fighting in solidarity towards treaties, and the G&G, but they were all auspices that came out of the Aboriginal Tent Embassy movement.
yeah,
And so we had a mandate of 10 years of going out and then bringing it all back to the 50th. I didn't think I'd be I'm one of many organisers.
yeah,
There is an old committee, plus we have an elders council that consists of many people from our elders right across Australia.
yeah,
The working party consists of the children of Isabel Coe and Billy Craigie, which was included Nyoka, Murrigal and Willay. And working with all of our other family clans right across, and a lot of the youth groups. So a big congratulations to all those that you didn't see behind the scenes, because it was done as a collective group. And we all put in the hard work and come down here, and we try to create a safe space, an environment friendly place, and acknowledge those that were before us and the continuity of the legacies that has been left with us to continue this.
yeah. I saw many people camping around here. So how roughly saying how many people?
Well, I'm not quite sure how many actually camp, but what you see, a lot of the families that you see camp today are the embassy families that have had continuity over the last 50 years, and especially in the last 30 years, since 1992, there's been a continuous occupation of this site from many of the clan groups, especially with the Houlihan and the Swan families, the Coe, the Craigie and the Munro families, the Walker families, the Johnson families, the Neal families, and a lot of other families that have been a part of the maintaining and the continuity of the Aboriginal Tent Embassy.
Yeah. So the sovereignty and the land rights. This is two key things.
Sovereignty is land rights, and land rights is sovereignty, and land rights is not native title.
Yeah. Yeah, so still the same from
The same issues are still affecting us. There's still been no land rights in this country. Still been no equity. There's been still no equality in this country. Back in the 60s, we were fighting for civil rights. Today, we are still fighting for our human rights in this country.
Yeah. Yeah. So as one of the organizer of this place, Tent Embassy, what's the most challenging thing? Since many people come in from all different kind of background. Yeah, I saw you raised the big this.
Well, as you've seen, like leading up to this, we were infiltrated by other groups. I don't know what their intentions were. They were here to infiltrate the embassy, the Aboriginal Tent Embassy 50th. Those groups were actually all parked over there, but the image of that what they were portraying is that they were saying they were from the Aboriginal Tent Embassy, which was really, really wrong. And that's why, we were watching it on the news, and it wasn't until actually the event of burning what had happened over here that made us really get down here. We had all intentions of coming down here in the new year, and so with that we sort of had to deal with a lot of issues, dealing with the people that were coming in, trying to take over, trying to stand over, and that. But as you've seen, all the people that turned up. So I reckon that and just the feedback from many people that have come here over the years and that supported Auntie Isabel's cause while she was here. And getting that feedback from a lot of the older generation that have seen this, and the positiveness and the happiness and the joys of tears of joy that I've seen, and just the little comments that we were getting within the crowd about how we pull this event off. We've been working behind the scenes for the last 9 months. A lot of people didn't realise that we have been working behind the scenes for over the last 9 months. We were coming down here after the new year, and that's what we've done. We've done a big clean up and started bringing everything in. And it was about to honour, and like we said, this was done with the children of Isabel and Billy Craigie. Billy Craigie was one of the first men that started the Aboriginal Tent Embassy, and we've done a lot of consultation with a lot of the original families. We consultated right around Australia with many other groups that couldn't be here as well. And like I said, those that could made it were here, but there was also a big solidarity right across this country. And I think it had to what we done and coming down here and doing what we had to do and taking on that fight with all these infiltrated groups is that we were showing that we're not going to allow this no more. We're not going to be allowed to allow anyone to be able to dictate or change the narrative of what the Aboriginal Tent Embassy was all established about. And the issue is land rights and sovereignty.
Yeah, yeah. So the 50th anniversary event was a very peaceful and joyful one. But on the other hand, I think there is a misunderstanding about this event happened at the old Parliament House.
Yeah.
So,
That for us, the history and the acknowledgement of everything that happened here in 1972. You know, there was 2 rallies. That was just because of communication issues. You know, we didn't want to interfere with that. But we led the actual rally was led by Uncle Duper, Douglas McGrady and Lyle Munro Jr. And we done the walk from Karima down to the Aboriginal Tent Embassy here. We didn't go up we weren't involved with the other groups that went all the way to Parliament. We weren't involved. Everything that we done was here on the embassy. We didn't go outside the embassy. All our stuff was done here. And it was about acknowledging and looking at the history, but also where do we see ourselves in another 50,000 years? Are we still going to be here? But we're not going anywhere. This Aboriginal Tent Embassy will not be going anywhere. We will remain here. And our fight is still continuing.
Yes, that's about the future, all right? So,
Yes.
It's a continuing.
It's going to continue. You know, you got myself and the next generation coming up the ranks. And as you've seen, a lot of these babies, they're embassy babies. These parents that you see walking around with the babies, they were children at this embassy. So the continuity and the legacies of their families that have continued this, they will maintain and continue this fight. And I think with what's happening, with all this other stuff that's happening around us, I think it's really asserted that we as sovereigns can run our own affairs and that we're willing to step up to the ranks to do this and take on whatever fight necessary to be able to do it. But we're not changing the narrative of the Aboriginal Tent Embassy, which is always about land rights and sovereignty.
Yeah, so one of the things I also want to know is about your opinion about the media.
I think that a lot of the young journos and people need to do their history properly because what they've done in the media over the last couple of days is they portrayed the wrong message. They've miscommunicated, they've put in stuff there that wasn't correct. So the media's like ABC and the Canberra Times that have put all this out, they need to be held accountable. They need to retract their statements, what they put out in regards to the Aboriginal Tent Embassy. We've also had these so-called advisory groups like the Ken Whites and the Linda Burnies. These people do not talk on behalf of the Aboriginal Embassy. They have no rights to be speaking to any media in regards to the Aboriginal Tent Embassy. Anyone wants to be involved with the Aboriginal Tent Embassy, come down and see Nyaka Craigie, who is the caretaker here, amongst the many of our others here. But understand that Nyaka Craigie is on site. She will always be here. And any future discussions or any consultation about the embassy should go through us here and Nyaka on the embassy site.
So one final question is the Aboriginal Tent Embassy, the establishment of this embassy is part of the global Indigenous movement, I think. So the Indigenous issue is not only in Australia, but to, for example, in Japan as well. Or in Taiwan, there are lots of Indigenous people facing the same problem, and then they want to learn from each other. So there one group, the doctor in Japan, have a close contact with me. So when they learn that the 50th anniversary here and all the Indigenous Australians, but they want to learn something from you.
I would love for you tell them when you come and you let us know and we will cater for you and we'll give you the education and the history that we need to put out to the world, and we'd love to come and stand with us. We will stand with you as well, and we're open for, like, I think that was all part of the colonialism and the trading and all that there. So I recommend that when you people come and visit us and we will cater for you and let's sit together because we are very strong. For many Indigenous nations right around the world to come here and say, the Aboriginal Tent Embassy is the oldest political site in the world. And we would love for all people to come and join and share with us. And when your people come, let us know and we will cater for your people.
In this May, because COVID-19, we can't have the actual face-to-face conference, but have a kind of Zoom meeting with the Japanese group.
We would love that.
One of their key issue they're fighting for is land right, exactly the same, because traditionally they are kind of hunting people on the sea, but now they don't have that right. to keep their traditional lifestyle. So now they're negotiating with the Japanese government, want to take back their traditional right to hunt the fishes or others. So facing the similar land rights problem. Yeah. So your message, yeah, maybe in the future can
Yes,
make some
let's do this, and let's do that very soon, you know, because whilst we sit inside and idle, the government's continuity of doing this. So if we can make that stance and come together and show the world that Indigenous people right around this world have had enough and you know, are sick to the death of being enforced off their countries, you know, and we've been pushed into this modern world of relying on government systems and relying on the modern day food processes of that, whereas we need to be taking land back. We need to be taking our land back, rejuvenating ourselves and eating from the land and becoming one back with the land. Because without the land, the people die. Without the people, the land dies.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I'm very
Thank you.
appreciated for.
And I'm sorry I couldn't do it any earlier. I've been so busy and I really appreciate everything you do.
Yeah.
And we would cater for your people. You just let us know when you guys are ready to come over. Give us a call and we'll make sure, you know. And what's happening also is now that I think this 50th is actually showing the world. And we have a lot of response from all the different embassies here in Canberra. So we're looking to bring all those people to the table as well.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
very
sir.
much.